if you feel overwhelmed by jazz, then this video is for you. Sometimes it feels like there's just way too much to learn in jazz. So there's scales, then there's chords, then modes, then licks, and then all these tunes and all these styles like bebop, hard bop, free jazz, bossa nova, ballads, and then there's technique, there's theory, there's stride, and then there's even walking bass, so it really is a lot of things to learn. You've probably tried to tackle all these things already simply because you love jazz and it's your dream to play like your heroes. And to be fair, you've probably made a good amount of progress. But who knows? Maybe you're feeling confused. Maybe you understand all the information, but then when you need to play with others, or when you need to play for others, it probably just doesn't come out quite the way you intended. Maybe you freeze, and maybe you don't feel comfortable, or maybe you simply don't feel good enough. Now, this can be quite depressing, especially if you're a diligent student and you actually make an effort to get your instrument and practice regularly. It could be the case that you've now been playing jazz for a while, but then it still doesn't feel like you're improving at all. Now, what if I told you that there was something that you could do differently? Something not even as stressful, and something that could actually give you some real results, and something that could actually improve your playing. I'm going to propose that instead of simply going to your instrument and practicing everything, or practicing as much as possible, what if you spend an entire month just working on one thing? Now, this one thing could be any topic of your choice, really, and your topic depends firstly on your needs, and it depends on where you are on your musical journey. However, in this video, just to show you the concept, the one thing that we're going to work on is learning jazz tunes. So we'll start with the melody. Once you've learned a song's melody, the beautiful thing is the melody functions in your mind and in your ears as your guide. Back in the day, they used to say, let the melody be your guide. So whether you're soloing or whether you are accompanying another musician, you'll always know exactly where you are if you know the melody. So I'm going to give you a procedure, and this procedure emphasizes the use of both your ears and your eyes. And you can actually use this procedure to memorize any melody. So for the next 30 days, your goal is going to be to learn 10 melodies, not quickly, but deeply. Just 10 melodies. Here are 5 good ones to start with. If you can think of any other good, easy melodies, please put those in the comments. So I'm going to suggest What Is This Thing Called Love, On Green Dolphin Street, The Days of Wine and Roses, Just Friends, and There Will Never Be Another You. Now, let me show you exactly how to learn them. A mistake that many people make is they just play a melody from the beginning to the end. Many people just read from the lead sheet, like this one right here, And actually, what's sad is they cannot play without the lead sheet. The lead sheet is a very good tool for learning, but one of your goals should be literally to throw away this lead sheet as quickly as possible. Actually, one of my favorite activities after learning a tune is actually to crumple that piece of paper and throw it away. Right, I'm going to suggest you do the same. So here's the system that I use for learning melodies. So I'm going to show you step by step. So step number 1 is I rewrite the melody. So let's look at Just Friends, actually, because it's right here. So we're going to rewrite this using only the note heads. So we're not going to have the stems, we're not going to have any rhythm, we're just going to have the note heads. And there's a massive advantage to this because this forces you to see the melody completely different. You see it as pure pitch, and you also see the patterns of the notes without having to worry about things like rhythm. So let's rewrite this one. So I can see, first of all, it's in the key of G. Okay, so I'm going to draw my treble clef. I'll put my key signature there. Right, so the first note is B. So I'm going to put a B there. That B is followed by another B. And then an A, a B, an A, and an E flat. This is actually where the phrase ends, because do 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 do. So this right here is my phrase. I'm just going to call this phrase number 1. So once I've written it with this new kind of notation, what I'm going to now do is to play it. So this is now step number 2. So step number 1 was just writing down the note heads. Step 2 is I'm now going to play it by eye, and by eye I mean I'm going to read these notes. Okay, so I'm going to read this simplified version, and I'm going to play that first phrase, rubato. Rubato simply means I'm playing with no time, so there's no strict time. And I like, when I'm practicing, I love the number 5, so I'm going to play this phrase rubato 5 times. My focus is going to be on the sound. My focus is also going to be on the shape and the direction in which the notes are going. So when I say shape, I mean I can see straight line, then it goes down and up and down. Ooh, there's a big jump at the end there. So that's really what I'm focusing on. So I'm going to play this rubato. That's 1. I'm going to read it again. Two. 3. 4. Okay, 5. Once I've done that, I'm quite happy with step number 2. So now I'm going to go to step number 3, and here I'm going to play that phrase again, but this time I'm going to stop reading. So I'm now playing from memory. I'm going to play the same phrase again 5 times. I will only ever refer to the notation if I get stuck. Okay, but let me try it and let me see. Perhaps I don't need this at all. Let's see. So here are those notes. That's 1. 2. 3. Okay, I did that just so that you'd stay awake throughout the video, okay? But when you're practicing, you really want to do that slow. You're not thinking about time. Just do it exactly like that. Okay, so that's step number 3. And now step number 4 is we're going to go back and forth. So far we've played it by eye, and then we played it from memory. So I'm going to go back and forth between those two things. So reading 5 times, from memory 5 times, until this whole phrase feels natural. So here it is again. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm happy with that. Now from memory 5 times. I'm going to play it faster. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think I've got that first phrase. Now, that was step number 4, right? So step number 5 is I then move on to the next phrase. Okay, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I did for phrase 1. So here's phrase 2. I'm going to write the note heads. Okay, so same thing. So I'm starting on A. So I'm going to write that down. So A, another A, oh, another A. See, rhythm confuses sometimes. A, G, and then I think the phrase ends with a D flat. Okay, that's the phrase. Okay, so again, I go through the same procedure. So let me do that just for the second phrase. That's one. Okay, so that first note is 3 times. Okay, 1, 2, 3, then. Okay, I've lost track of whether that's once or twice, or I mean whether that's 4 or 5 times. I'm now going to do this by ear or from memory. I think I've got that. Okay, and now I can start going back and forth between phrase 1 and 2. In fact, not phrase 1 and 2. I'm going to go back and forth between reading and from memory. So okay, 5 times. You get the idea. Let me try it from memory. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play phrase 1 plus phrase 2 back to back. First 5 times reading and then 5 times from memory. Right, let me see if I can do that. I'm going to read first. That's 1. That's 2, right? In fact, let's just pretend I've done it 5 times already. Okay, so you can try that in your own time. I'm now going to try it from memory. Let me see if I can do that. I got it. Okay, so that was first time. Let me try it once more. All right, so that's basically step number 6. And in step number 7, I am simply going to keep going. Okay, so I'm going to continue this idea until I learn the entire melody in exactly the same way. So I'm not worried about rhythm. I'm just worried about, well, not worried, but my primary goal is to make sure that I can play the melody both from reading, at least just the pitch, right? The pitch is what's most important to me, right? I should be able to go to any part of the song and play that part of the melody. Now, that's quite important, and I'll probably demonstrate this in another video. But if you listen to jazz musicians, one of the things that they do is they quote melodies. Sometimes they'll quote part of the melody. Sometimes you'll hear a jazz musician playing a melody and then going off and playing something else, and then boom, they hit you with that melody again. But that's probably like the 3rd or the 4th phrase of that melody, you know. So that means these guys don't just go from beginning to end. They know how, like, and when I say know, they really know the melody, you know. So by the time you finish this exercise, you are going to not just know the melody, but you're actually going to own that melody. So you'll be able to play that melody freely. You'll be able to phrase it in the most natural way. and you'll be able to hear the melody in your head. And one of the most important things actually is you'll be able to embellish the melody. So embellishing the melody is actually something that I cover in my Jazz Piano Lab course, which comes out soon. I'm very excited about that because I'm almost finished filming it, and now I just have to edit it and make sure that it's fantastic. But I love it. So embellishing melodies is a fantastic way, a fantastic gateway into the world of improvisation. So please stay tuned to this channel for this new course. Okay, I'm sure you'll love it. So we've only done the first two phrases of this song, but like I said, we want to apply the same concept and learn every phrase in the song. Right, so once you do that, you can go to the next step. So you can take things to the next. This might take you, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, an hour or something like that for just one song. And then maybe tomorrow you just want to go through the same process. If in 30 days we're saying 10 songs but know them well, I think this is a very achievable goal. Okay, so after 30 days you'll be able to play 10 songs that you could not play, and you'll be able to play it without this. You'll be able to play them without this. Okay, you'll own them. You'll be able to do all sorts of things. But I'm going to give you a bonus to this lesson. And the bonus is this. You can use the exact same method for learning chords. So what we're going to do is we're going to write them out. And again, no rhythm or harmonic rhythm, right? So I'm simply going to copy the chords from the lead sheet. Okay, so I'm going to write maybe just the first four maybe. So I'm going to write, there's a C major 7, and then there's a C minor 7, there's an F7, and then there is a G major 7. Okay, so now that I've got those four chords, what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice them. Well, step number one is I wrote them down, right? And now I'm going to play them by reading them. So I'm going to play them rubato, so no rhythm, no harmonic rhythm. So I'm going to play C major 7. Just check everything's fine. Okay, now I'll play C minor 7. Now I'll play F7. And now G major 7. For now I'm playing them in root position, right? And I'm playing them by reading. So that's once. I'm going to try and do that 5 times. There's my C major 7. There's my F7. I'm actually just going to play an inversion. Okay, so that's twice. Second time it already felt easier. I'm going to do it third time. I'm even going to invert this one. Okay, and it's up to you. You can play these chords in your right hand if you want, or if you already know some left hand voicings, you can do that. So for instance, I could play some rootless voicings. So here's me reading my C major 7, my C minor 7, my F7, and then my G major 7. Interesting. Right, I'll do that one more time. So here's my C major 7. Here's my C minor 7. Here's my F7. My G major 7. From C minor 7 to F7, I can already tell that's a 2-5. Okay, so I can see what's happening. Right, let me get rid of this for a bit. Let me see if I can still play those chords. Right, so C major 7, right? And C minor 7. And then I remember there was a 2-5. So there's F7, and here's my G major 7. Okay, so I could do this 5 times, okay, like I should, right? So I've done my 5 times reading, I've done my 5 times from memory. Same system as when learning the melody, right? Now I'll go back and forth between reading and memory, right? So I might even go. Okay, let me try that from memory. Okay, so I've obviously done this once, but I could do that 5 times, and then after doing it 5 times, the chords are finally going to sink in. So I'll take this as maybe the first chunk of chords that I'm going to do, and then I can move on and add the next chunk of chords. So what do we have here? We have a B flat minor 7. We have an E flat 7. We have an A minor 7. Oh, this is interesting. And then there's a D7. I'll actually stop there. I'll apply exactly the same steps. So rubato, reading 5 times, memory 5 times, and then I go back and forth between reading and memory. So I'm just reading these. B flat minor 7 to E flat 7. Well, already as I'm reading this I can see, okay, that's a 2-5. And then A minor 7 to D7 is another 2-5. Okay, I'm playing rootless voicings, by the way, and again, rootless voicings, something that I cover in my new course. So like I said earlier, the Jazz Piano Lab, stay tuned, because here we learn how to play in a trio. So I'm going to teach you how to play some rootless voicings for your left hand, and this is also where we play the melody and we embellish the melody. Okay, so check this out. So B flat minor 7, right? I'm going to read this one more time. Then A minor 7 to D7. Okay, I'm just going to pretend that's 5 times. I think I've memorized this. So there was a B flat minor 7, there was an E flat 7, now A minor 7 to D7, that's a 2-5. So I can now go back and forth between reading, memory. Once I've done that, I can now say, okay, I've got my 2 phrases. Let me now combine the 2. And I'll do that first by reading. Alright, so there's my C major 7. And then okay, I remember all this. Then not worried about rhythm at all. I'm just learning the tune. Okay, so if I've done that 5 times, I'll probably be able to play 5 times reading, now 5 times from memory. Okay, second phrase, that was a B flat minor 7, 2-5. And A minor, also a 2-5. Okay, if I can do that 5 times, from 5 times by eye, 5 times by ear, then I'll soon be able to play the entire thing. Alright, so this might feel slow, but actually that's the point. You know, that is the point. Because what a lot of people do is fast, but unfortunately shallow. So this method right here is slower, but it's permanent. So if you do this for 40 days, sorry, not 40, I'm now driving you like a slave, right? If you do this for 30 days, you are definitely going to hear a difference in your playing. You're going to find that you know your songs, but you know them really, really well. So it's not just, let me now get my lead sheet. Even after 20 years of playing, I still need my lead sheet to play Just Friends. You know, if you've learned it thoroughly and deeply, then you don't need this at all. After your 30 days, you're going to find you've got 10 songs, 10 good jazz standards that you can actually play, not just the melody to, not just the chords, but actually you could start practicing hands together. Okay. I've got it from memory. And so forth, right? So one phrase at a time. So you do phrase 1, then phrase 2, phrase 3, until you've done the entire thing step by step, and you will know your song deeply. I would be very surprised if you ever forget your song after this type of focused practice. Okay, so you're making progress not just because, ooh, I've learned more and I've got more information. You're doing this because finally you are focused. Okay, so if you want a structured plan like this, or a situation where I guide you step by step, this is exactly what I do in my courses. And at the moment I've got the Jazz Piano Fundamentals course if you're new to jazz and you really want to develop a strong foundation. So before you even talk about rootless voicings and melody and all that, make sure that you really know your fundamentals, because that's where everything comes from. Okay, so the advanced things come from the simple things. And where do we learn that? In the Jazz Piano Fundamentals course. So I'll guide you through your basics step by step so that you're never lost, you're never confused about your playing ever. You think like a jazz musician when you go through this course. So it's available. I'm going to put a link in the description. The new course is coming out as well, the Jazz Piano Lab, where again I guide you step by step. It's the next level after your Jazz Piano Fundamentals. So I'll guide you through that, and then the last thing that I'm there to help you with is in things like my coaching, where we again go through things step by step. So what I basically help you to do is to stop guessing, and I get you to start making real progress and getting real results in your playing. Okay, so please check out the links in the description, and for coaching, please feel free to join or send me an email so that I can add you to my waiting list. Okay, so if I could leave you with just one piece of advice, it's simply this: don't try to learn everything. Okay, so don't obsess with, ooh, I need 12 keys. Oh, I need 20 songs. Ooh, don't do that. Just learn one thing, but learn that one thing properly. So instead of us going wide, what we really want is to go deep. And that's how progress is made. If you're not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Feel free to ask questions in the comments, or let me know how else you enjoy working on whatever you're working on, where you are on your journey. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in the next video.